Welcome to Jack Tar's Journeys. So today we're going to take a little bike ride down from Millbay in Plymouth, around the Hoe and up the top, along the Hoe promenade, and then we're going to end up going back down the other side of the Hoe towards the Barbican. We'll have a quick look. I will be doing individual ones on each of the places. This is just a small one so that you can actually see what we've got in Plymouth. Why don't you come for a ride? This is the start of the new boulevard that they're creating, Millbay Boulevard. There we go. Scheme provides an enhanced and convenient sustainable transport link. Plymouth City Centre, Millbay waterfront. So further down here is the Millbay docks. This has all changed over the last few years, and it will continue to change. Looks like some heavy rain. Picked the wrong day for this. Maybe not. Thing about rain, it all comes off, doesn't it? It's no big deal. Right, let's go into former Millbay docks. They're not really docks anymore. It is a port of sorts. It does have a ferry that you can catch across to France and back from Spain, I believe, from Santander. So Brittany ferries are based here. And over in the distance is the Brittany Ferries terminal. Let's go quickly round here. So Plymouth's the home of Princess Yachts, used to be called Marine Projects. And these yachts you can see down here, for these nice shiny new ones all the way along the front here, are ones that are being prepared, ready for delivery to people who can afford them. Very nice, yeah. They've sort of used all this area. This is Millbay Docks, so this would have been, in fact, where we are and over there, which I'll show you shortly, used to be a train terminus. So it was heavily bombed because it was associated with the dockyard. It was heavily bombed in the war, and there's not much of it left. But you will see up here that still bits and pieces. Every now and again you'll come across something. But there's the internet. That's the port of Plymouth over in the foreground, just over there. Coming round now, and we can see Plymouth Sound in front of us. That island you can see directly in front here, we call it Drake's Island, but I think its real name is St. Nicholas Island. Over to our right is where the ferry comes in, the Millbay ferry. And just over there where you've got a little white bridge right on that corner, just in there's a little inlet, and that's where the Royal Marines still have a small inlet, and they teach sailing and that there. So it's a nice little place. I actually learnt sailing there. But yeah, that's Drake's Island, or St. Nicholas Island. There are some boats out, which is good. Nice to see the sailing boats. Always love sailing. As you can see across to our left there, the jetty. This is all that's really left of what used to be an harbour years ago. Like I said, railways used to come into here, and it was offloading for naval ships and that around that corner there. So if we go around that corner over to there, it takes us round to Stonehouse. Right, let's move on before I get too wet. You can see in the distance along that, all the way along there, you may see some of the no, and we'll get further up there and we'll check it out. I'll take the camera and show you, but there's still some of the original foundations for the jetties that used to be here, because it was all jetties at one point, like that one over the other side we just looked at. It would all have been like that. Yeah, you can see all those rows just in front of us here, all the way along there. So it was all jetty like that over there at one point. Obviously over the years it's not been needed, it's been left to rack and ruin, and they've decided to dismantle it, get rid of it, it's not needed anymore. It's good though for the wildlife. I mean, there's an egret standing in the water. I don't know if you can see him down there. There he is. Yeah, it's very nice, lovely to see. Anyway, so over the years they've developed along this waterfront, as in every waterfront around the country, around the world even. As soon as they get a bit of water frontage, they stick housing of some sort. Actually worked on those ones over in the distance, managing on that one. That was some time ago, a couple of years back now. But yeah, all looking quite nice in here. Lovely if you live here. You can see the concrete just down along there. You can see concrete along there as well. So there was jetties, there was all sorts in here for all the naval uses years ago. Mainly before, it's probably here from Victorian times, I would hazard a guess. In fact, before that, it's always been a port. So, right, we'll go back out and then ride round towards the Hoe. So my bike, I've lost one bar on the bike's battery now. Done 4 miles. Change gear again. That building on our left was started, I think they went bankrupt. It's been there for 4 years, I suppose. Yeah, so needs fixing, needs finishing. I dare say it's so expensive for somebody to jump in, they'll probably have to go and take most of it out to sort it out. Right, that's the Duke of Cornwall Hotel that you can see in front of us. Fine old hotel. So we're going to come up the Hoe from the back way, or from the bottom end. So I'll turn right round this roundabout. There we go. And we're coming up to West Hoe Road. So here we are on West Hoe Road. Very bumpy, sorry about the bumps. Juddery and bumpy. Yeah, again, those houses you can see on the right hand side were part of the development that I was on when we were building it a few years back. 3-story units. Obviously you can't see the bottom one, but it is there below the roadside. I think what we'll do is come right the way round the Hoe from the bottom end and work our way up and over and down to the Barbican. Pub there on the left called the West Hoe. Been there for years. Right, let's get onto the pavement over here because I can't go that way officially. But if I go on the pavement, then unofficially I can do it. I don't advocate riding on the pavement, by the way. I just do it because I feel safer. Once again, properties built because of the water frontage. So this is still on West Hoe Road. It brings us right round to the bottom of Plymouth Hoe. When I get round this corner, I'll do a vista and you can literally see back over to St Nicholas Island, across to Kreml or Mount Edgecombe. Yeah, we'll have a good look at that. Let's get round this corner and I can show you, better explain where we are then. I suspect many of you have been here before. It's a nice walk on a nice day. Nice walk on. Not such a nice day, to be honest with you. Right, let's get round this corner. There we go. Right. So we were over there. There's the Port of Plymouth. So that over in the distance is that blue part. That's basically the docks where the Brittany ferries comes in. You'll see the masts over just about there, and that's the Royal Marines barracks. If you look over to your left of the Marine barracks where the slope comes down, you'll see they've got a shooting range. It's just over sort of that area there, and then round from that you've got Devil's Point or Firestone Bay, which is over there. Where that boat's heading now takes you around to Devil's Point. Over in the distance there is Mount Edgecombe, all them trees. And as we come over, we're back over, we've got St Nicholas Island, or Drake's Island as it's known. Out in the distance you can just see along the skyline there is the breakwater going over to Wembury and Bigbury. Right, and over there is Plymstock. We'll carry on with our little tour. You might just be able to see Smeaton's Tower up on the Hoe. We'll stop as I get round here and we'll have a quick look at that. So once again, from Wembury Point over there, all the way around Jenny Cliff, which is just over there, to Plymstock, which is there. You see the little fort on top. Right the way around, that's the Royal Citadel up there. Obviously Smeaton's Tower. And the Hoe running all the way along the foreground. Used to be where that is, that sort of set of steps and all that. There used to be a pier that used to come straight off that and out. I've never seen it because obviously it was taken down before the war. But I'll have to read up on it and I'll put it in a link on the video or whatever. Yeah, but that's the Hoe that's the forefront or the seafront. Obviously down here, that's where I usually bring our Frank. I can't take him on my bike, but nice, just throwing stones and sitting there and letting him play in the water. Round the corner from that, you've got a little tiny harbour, which I'll show you in a short while. So, little harbour. If you go down, there's a nice somewhere, the waterfront's just down the bottom there. Nice to have something to eat and drink, especially when it's nice and in the summer. That statue there is a Gormley statue. Quite famous for his men on the beach in Formby, Crosby and Liverpool. Again, another quick view around the waterfront, the seafront. Just around this corner, you've got just literally down those steps along there, you've got the Wet Wok, which is Chinese. They've now opened an eating place up here, which they never used to have years ago. Just below that, so just below that, there's a flat level place. Used to be a pool years ago, but they've filled everything in. Still got the main Lido up on the Hoe, which I'll show you in a shortly when I get up there. Obviously up on the top, you've got all those lovely looking houses, the Grand. That's some view from them. They've been there forever and a day, I think. That's the actual Hoe up the top. We'll try and go up there, up to Smeaton's Tower. It's just a big, long, flat, like runway. But I'll show you that when we get there. Obviously, you've got your park over on the left-hand side there. That's been there for years with the little train. Many of you who've been here remember that. Go back up onto the top. Not sure what that is. It's a big blue whale. Recycling centre or something, is it? I don't know. Saving the ocean a bottle at a time. So this is where the pier used to be. Right about here would have been the centre of the pier. It would have been the centre of the pier, just here. So there's that building. It used to come all the way down, right the way down through here, and go out towards out there. And just a quick vista again with St Nicholas Island, round to where we just come from. Again, another little beach. It's all right when the tide's out, but it comes right in. You can't access it then. Right, let's move on. So that used to be a pool down there. They filled it all in, and there was another one just over there. They filled that in, but you can see just in the distance there is the Lido. Let's go and take a look at that. So this is the Lido that they're just revamping, getting it all freshened up, ready for the summer season. This terrace, this all brand new. This, so maybe do it in a future video where I show you when it's complete. There's no water in that yet. Over to Plymstock there, and of course you've got Ocean View, which is a nice restaurant sitting right overlooking the sound. We'll move on and have a look up at Smeaton's Tower and the actual Hoe, the promenade. And then we'll come back down onto the Hoe and have a look at down towards the Barbican. It's a lovely walk, no matter whether it's piddling down or whether it's sunny. It is lovely. Been up here many times. So the Royal Citadel's on our right, which we'll take a little bit of that in a minute, but I just want to show you the Hoe Promenade and Smeaton's Tower. And this is the Hoe Promenade. So on a very windswept day, obviously Smeaton's Tower with Drake's Island in the background. On to Wembury Point again. You can see by the flags it's quite windy. And we're just seeing the Grand and those fine old houses over there. We come round to the cenotaph, memory of all our brave souls who lost their lives in the wars fighting for us. I'll take you down and we'll have a quick look at the bowling green. As you can see over there is Francis Drake right there. There's a bowling green. Apparently he said, let's finish this game of bowls before we go and touch the Spanish. What truth there is behind that? Right in the distance there is the Brittany ferry. You may just be able to see it. That looks like he's on his way in. Right, also, while I'm up here, the Beatles got a photo on Plymouth Hoe, and the place they actually sat, they've put a memoir. So a lot of people have come and they've sat and they've had the same photo taken. Let's go and have a look at it, and then we'll nip down and have a look at the bowling green. Some lovely, stunning views here, it really is. By the way, did you know? So this is the markings of where the Beatles sat. It's quite a popular tourist. Sorry, mate. And there's the actual picture of where they sat. So they sat there, and there they are sitting there. And as you can see in the distance, you've got the Smeaton's Tower. So yeah, not a lot changed really, has it? Hasn't changed much at all. Yeah, I hope you can see all that. Right, let's go and have a look at the bowling green. Again, I've worked on those flats there. There's the Grand. So these houses are lovely looking, these big houses, but you'd need a lot of money to be able to. Also, there's a statue there of, you can see it, Nancy Astor. Very, very prominent in Plymouth. Drive it down just to see the bowling greens, and then we'll come back up, down over the Hoe and down towards the Barbican again. See, that's the War Memorial. And here is the famous, apparently, bowling green with the pavilion in the background, Plymouth Hoe Bowling Club. Right, that's just a quick look. So let's get onwards and upwards and go round the Hoe down to the Barbican. The old building you can see in the distance is obviously the Royal Citadel. Let me just turn it round a bit. Yes, that's the Citadel. Some of the buildings in there are 1700s, I think. I worked in there as well years ago. Worked all over Plymouth. But you have to do what brings the money in, don't you? So we'll go back down now, turn back onto the Hoe. Again, it's a lovely walk if you fancy coming here. They have a fireworks championships in Plymouth over 2 nights in August, and they have it off. There's a jetty over Plymstock there. I'll just show you that. So you have the fireworks championships, and that's where they set them off from over there. And they have people all the way over Jenny Cliff, which is over in the background, the green plot of land there. And the Hoe, right the way as far as the eye can see, is packed. There's people up on all the banks. That's the Citadel, by the way, that we're looking at the moment. Over to the aquarium, or the old aquarium there. Let's have a quick look, a quick show of the foreshore while we're here. Obviously, there's the old Lido. A lot of it's fallen into disrepair. It's all money, innit? Money, money, money. Somebody just coming in after a day's sailing. Let's get down to the Barbican then. Right, let's carry on our trip down towards the Barbican. Oh, here we are. A couple of cannons. So you got to say about tombstoning. People do or have dived over the top of here. When the tide's in. The crest of the king, I suppose. And that's exactly from the 19th century. I reckon they may have been used in the Crimean War. Oh. So we're going to go down to the Barbican now. And this is that entrance to that car park. I'm just going to scoot down this way. Some nice eating places though. There's a lot of development going on around. Again, all the little boat tours and all that leave from here, so you can go around and see the sound and the ships. And I've turned all this into like little small eateries in there. Yeah, so little boat sheds in there, boat houses. always very, very busy in the summer. Catch the Corsan ferry there, and you can also catch a ferry to Royal William Yard and Mount Edgecombe. Didn't know that, they're doing Drake's Island tours now. So there you go. If you want to go and look at Drake's Island, cost you £25, but yeah, about time they opened it up and done something with it. It's been sat there for years doing nothing. Right, so you'll see shortly where the Pilgrim Fathers sail from. The actual steps are further inland because obviously they've reclaimed some of this now. However, they have got all these planks. There you go. So this is what they deem the Mayflower Steps. I believe the actual steps are over there where the Admiral McBride is, but it's been reclaimed over the years. The Tolpuddle Martyrs. There's also there you go. So there's a fair bit of history, a lot of history in this little small place. Right, moving on. So looking around, this is the Barbican. It's the start of the Barbican down there, and obviously the obligatory housing and homes and offices right next to it. You go across that bridge, it brings you up to the aquarium. Right, let's move on round to the Barbican. Let's get round to the Barbican. Obviously very touristy now. It's Easter next week, and because it's Easter, it'll be packed here. It's already pretty busy. Let's try and walk around this way. Navy Inn, and the just see it there in the background, the Navy Inn. If you look up that street, there's the old type Barbican, which I'm not going to go up there with my bike, but it's all eateries. It gets packed down here, absolutely out the door down here. So if you come early. Let's get back over to the waterfront. This used to be the fish market, but that's all gone. It's all by the by, and even the fish market over the water there's all closed now. They land fish there, but they can't sell any, so there's nowhere for a fishing town to sell fish. Apart from fishing.